Chapter 1: The Troubled Past. In the heart of a quaint town nestled between sprawling hills and verdant meadows, there resided a young man named James. His presence was known far and wide, not for his benevolence or charm, but rather for his propensity to engage in skirmishes and tumultuous altercations. James, with his broad shoulders and piercing gaze, seemed to carry an invisible storm within him, always on the brink of erupting into a tempest of conflict. From a young age, James had been familiar with the rougher edges of life. Growing up in a household marred by hardship and adversity, he had learned to fend for himself in a world that showed little mercy. With each passing year, his resolve hardened, his fists becoming his staunchest allies in the battle against the injustices that plagued his existence. The townsfolk regarded James with a mixture of apprehension and disdain, their whispers echoing through the cobblestone streets like a chorus of disapproval. He was the bane of their tranquil existence, disrupting the peace with his tumultuous outbursts and fiery temper. Merchants would exchange wary glances as he passed by, mothers clutching their children close, lest they fall victim to his unpredictable wrath. Yet, beneath the veneer of hostility and aggression, there lay a heart burdened by the weight of its own tumultuous emotions. James harbored dreams and aspirations like any other soul, yearning for a life beyond the confines of his troubled past. Deep within him, there flickered a spark of hope, a desire for redemption that refused to be extinguished by the shadows of his tumultuous history. It was amidst this backdrop of discord and discontent that fate intervened, casting its enigmatic hand upon the tapestry of James' existence. One fateful day, as he wandered through the bustling town square, his gaze fell upon a vision of ethereal beauty. Her name was Sarah, a delicate flower amidst the thorns of his tumultuous reality. Sarah possessed a radiant smile that could melt even the frostiest of hearts, her eyes shimmering with a warmth that mirrored the gentle glow of the morning sun. From the moment James laid eyes upon her, he felt an inexplicable stirring within him, a yearning to unravel the mysteries of her soul and bask in the light of her unconditional love. However, James was no stranger to rejection and ridicule. Years of being cast aside and ostracized had left him wary of opening his heart to another, fearing the sting of rejection that lingered like a shadow upon his every step. He watched from afar as Sarah moved through the world with a grace and poise that seemed to belong to another realm, his heart aching with a longing he dared not voice aloud. And so, James found himself ensnared in a web of conflicting emotions, torn between the desire to pursue the object of his affection and the fear of facing yet another heartbreak. He watched helplessly as Sarah's laughter danced upon the breeze, his own lips curving into a wistful smile at the sight of her boundless joy. Little did James know that fate had woven their destinies together inextricably, their paths destined to intersect in a collision of love and longing. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the flames of passion smoldered within James' heart, igniting a fervent desire to bridge the chasm that separated him from the object of his affection. But beneath the facade of serenity that enveloped their idyllic town, storm clouds brewed on the horizon, threatening to engulf their fragile paradise in a tempest of turmoil and tribulation. For unbeknownst to James and Sarah, forces beyond their control were conspiring to thwart their burgeoning love, casting a shadow of uncertainty upon their uncertain future. Thus, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars cast their shimmering light upon the world below, James found himself standing at the precipice of a new chapter in his tumultuous journey. The echoes of his troubled past reverberated through the depths of his soul, their resonance a constant reminder of the trials and tribulations that lay ahead. Little did he know that the road to redemption would be fraught with peril and uncertainty, a treacherous path beset on all sides by the specters of doubt and despair. Yet, in the depths of his heart, James clung to the flickering ember of hope that burned brightly amidst the darkness, a beacon of light guiding him towards a future filled with promise and possibility. And so, with resolve firm and spirits unbowed, James embarked upon the next chapter of his tumultuous journey, his eyes fixed firmly upon the horizon as he braced himself for the trials and tribulations that lay ahead. For destiny waits for no man, and the road to redemption is paved with the shattered remnants of the past, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity.
Chapter 2: The Arrival of Love. In the picturesque town where James resided, nestled amidst rolling hills and meandering streams, the arrival of love was like a gentle breeze that whispered secrets through the cobblestone streets. It was a sensation that permeated the very air, infusing every corner of the quaint community with a sense of magic and wonder. For James, a man with a troubled past and a heart heavy with burdens, the arrival of love was an unexpected twist in the narrative of his life. He was a figure known for his tumultuous temperament, his fists often serving as his voice in a world that seemed to revel in chaos and discord. But amidst the tumult of his existence, there existed a yearning, a longing for something more, something he could scarcely name. It was on a crisp autumn morning that James first laid eyes upon Sarah, a vision of ethereal beauty amidst the hustle and bustle of the town square. She moved with a grace and elegance that seemed to defy description, her laughter like music to his ears as it echoed through the crisp morning air. From the moment their eyes met, James felt a stirring deep within him, a sensation that he could scarcely comprehend. Sarah was unlike anyone James had ever known. Her kindness and compassion seemed boundless, her smile capable of melting even the frostiest of hearts. She possessed a rare beauty that transcended the physical realm, her spirit shining like a beacon of light amidst the darkness that had long shrouded James' world. Yet, for all her radiance, Sarah remained an enigma, a puzzle with pieces that James could scarcely hope to unravel. He watched from afar as she moved through the world with a grace and poise that seemed to belong to another realm, his heart aching with a longing he could scarcely name. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, James found himself inexorably drawn to Sarah, his footsteps guided by an unseen force that defied rational explanation. He would linger in the town square long after the crowds had dispersed, his gaze fixed upon her radiant form as she went about her daily routine with an effortless grace that left him breathless with wonder. But beneath the surface of his stoic facade, James wrestled with a tempest of conflicting emotions. He feared rejection and ridicule, the sting of past heartaches still fresh in his memory like an open wound. He dared not voice the longing that burned within him, for fear that it would be met with indifference or scorn. And yet, despite his reservations and misgivings, James found himself unable to resist the pull of Sarah's magnetic presence. With each passing day, his heart swelled with a love so fierce and undeniable that it threatened to consume him whole, its flames casting a warm glow upon the shadowed recesses of his troubled soul. For James, the arrival of love was not merely a fleeting fancy or passing infatuation, but rather a profound revelation that would alter the course of his destiny forever. With Sarah by his side, he embarked upon a journey of self-discovery and redemption, his heart filled with a love so pure and unconditional that it could conquer even the darkest shadows of his troubled past. And so, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars cast their shimmering light upon the world below, James found himself standing on the threshold of a new chapter in his tumultuous journey. The arrival of love had awakened a dormant ember within him, igniting a fire that burned with a fervor unmatched by anything he had ever known. For in the presence of Sarah, James had found not only his salvation, but also the courage to believe in the possibility of a future filled with hope and promise. And as they stood together beneath the twinkling canopy of the night sky, their hearts beating as one, James knew that he had found his true north, a guiding light to lead him through the darkest of nights and into the dawn of a new day filled with endless possibilities.
Chapter 3: Love Blossoms. In the tranquil embrace of the quaint town, where the whispers of the wind carried secrets of generations past, James found himself caught in the throes of an emotion he had long kept at bay: love. It was a sensation that unfurled within him like the petals of a delicate flower, blossoming with each passing moment until it enveloped him in its sweet embrace. Sarah, with her radiant smile and gentle demeanor, had captured James' heart in a way he had never thought possible. Her presence in his life was like a breath of fresh air, sweeping away the cobwebs of doubt and insecurity that had long clouded his vision. With each passing day, his love for her grew stronger, its roots sinking deep into the fertile soil of his soul. Yet, for all the intensity of his emotions, James found himself paralyzed by his own insecurities. He was a man accustomed to wielding his fists in defiance of the injustices that plagued his existence, but when it came to matters of the heart, he felt like a lost sailor adrift on a sea of uncertainty. Sarah, too, seemed to wrestle with her own inner demons, her smiles masking a vulnerability that James could scarcely comprehend. Despite her outward confidence, she harbored doubts and fears of her own, unsure of whether she was deserving of the love that James so freely offered. And so, they danced around each other like two stars in orbit, their paths converging and diverging with each passing moment. They would steal glances across crowded rooms, their eyes meeting in silent communion before darting away like shy woodland creatures. But amidst the awkwardness and uncertainty, a spark of something beautiful began to take root, a connection that transcended words and gestures, binding them together in a tapestry of shared experiences and fleeting moments of intimacy. It was in the quiet moments, when the world seemed to fade away and it was just the two of them, that James found the courage to let down his guard and show Sarah the depths of his soul. He would recount tales of his troubled past, his voice soft with emotion as he bared his scars for her to see. And Sarah, in turn, would listen with an empathy that touched James to the core. She would hold his hand as he spoke, her touch a soothing balm against the wounds of his past. In her presence, he felt seen and understood in a way he had never thought possible. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, James and Sarah found themselves drawn inexorably closer together. Their love blossomed like a flower in the warmth of the summer sun, its petals unfurling to reveal a beauty that was both fragile and enduring. And amidst the hustle and bustle of their daily lives, they found solace in each other's arms, a sanctuary amidst the chaos of the world around them. For in the embrace of love, they discovered a peace that surpassed all understanding, a refuge from the storms that raged outside. But even as their love grew stronger with each passing day, James and Sarah knew that their journey was far from over. They faced obstacles and challenges that threatened to tear them apart, testing the strength of their bond in ways they could scarcely imagine. Yet, in the face of adversity, they stood together, united in their love and unwavering in their commitment to one another. For they knew that as long as they had each other, they could weather any storm that came their way. And so, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars cast their shimmering light upon the world below, James and Sarah stood hand in hand, their hearts beating as one. For in the embrace of love, they had found a strength that surpassed all understanding, a bond that would carry them through the darkest of nights and into the dawn of a new day filled with endless possibilities.
Chapter 4: Obstacles and Opposition. In the idyllic town where James and Sarah's love blossomed like the delicate petals of a rose, shadows lurked in the corners, threatening to cast a pall over their newfound happiness. For despite the beauty of their burgeoning romance, they found themselves beset by obstacles and opposition that tested the strength of their love like never before. As whispers of their relationship spread through the town like wildfire, tongues wagged and fingers pointed, casting doubt upon the validity of their love. Sarah's parents, in particular, viewed James with suspicion and disdain, believing him to be unworthy of their daughter's affection due to his troubled past. Try as they might to convince Sarah's parents of the depth of their love, James and Sarah found themselves met with resistance at every turn. Her parents remained steadfast in their opposition, their hearts hardened by prejudice and fear. But James and Sarah refused to be deterred. They knew that their love was true, a force of nature that could not be quelled by the petty prejudices of others. Together, they resolved to weather the storm that raged around them, clinging to each other with a determination born of desperation and defiance. Yet, as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the strain of their circumstances began to take its toll. James felt the weight of Sarah's parents' disapproval bearing down upon him like a millstone around his neck, his resolve weakening with each passing day. Sarah, too, struggled under the weight of her parents' expectations, torn between her love for James and her desire to please those she held dear. She knew that she had to choose between her heart and her family, a choice that seemed impossible to make. And so, James and Sarah found themselves caught in a tangled web of emotions, their love tested by the trials and tribulations that beset them from all sides. They longed for a future together, a life filled with love and happiness, but the obstacles in their path seemed insurmountable. But just when all hope seemed lost, a glimmer of light appeared on the horizon. Sarah's parents, moved by the depth of their love and the sincerity of their intentions, began to soften their stance, their hearts thawing like ice in the warmth of the summer sun. Slowly but surely, they began to see James for the man he truly was, a kind and compassionate soul whose troubled past belied the depths of his character. And as they opened their hearts to him, James and Sarah felt a weight lift from their shoulders, their love shining brighter than ever before. With the blessing of Sarah's parents secured, James and Sarah's love soared to new heights, their bond stronger than ever in the face of adversity. Together, they faced the obstacles that had once seemed insurmountable, emerging victorious on the other side with a newfound sense of purpose and determination. For in the crucible of their love, James and Sarah had discovered a strength they never knew they possessed, a resilience that could withstand even the harshest of trials. And as they stood hand in hand, gazing out at the horizon before them, they knew that no obstacle could ever come between them again.
Chapter 5: The Power of Love. In the serene embrace of the quaint town where James and Sarah's love story unfolded, the power of love proved to be a force as potent as any other. It was a force that defied logic and reason, transcending the barriers of time and space to weave a tapestry of connection between two souls destined to be together. With the obstacles that once threatened to tear them apart now behind them, James and Sarah found themselves basking in the warm glow of their newfound happiness. Their love had weathered the storms of opposition and adversity, emerging stronger and more resilient than ever before. As they walked hand in hand through the cobblestone streets of their town, their laughter ringing out like bells in the crisp morning air, James and Sarah felt as though they were living in a dream where anything was possible, as long as they were together. But their journey was far from over. For as they delved deeper into the recesses of their hearts, they discovered that the power of love was not merely a fleeting emotion, but rather a force that could move mountains and part oceans with its sheer intensity. With each passing day, James and Sarah found themselves drawn closer together, their souls entwined in a dance as old as time itself. They reveled in the simple pleasures of life, the feel of the sun on their faces, the scent of wildflowers in the air, as they navigated the twists and turns of their shared destiny. And as they gazed into each other's eyes, they saw reflected back a love so pure and unconditional that it took their breath away. It was a love that knew no bounds, transcending the petty concerns of the world around them to soar to heights previously unimagined. Together, James and Sarah became beacons of hope and inspiration in their community, their love radiating outwards like rays of sunshine on a cloudy day. They lent a helping hand to those in need, offering comfort and solace to the downtrodden and despairing. But their greatest gift was the example they set for others, the testament to the power of love to conquer even the darkest of shadows and illuminate the path to a brighter future. For in the embrace of their love, James and Sarah found a strength they never knew they possessed, a strength that would carry them through the trials and tribulations of life's journey. And so, as they stood together on the threshold of a new chapter in their lives, James and Sarah knew that their love was their greatest treasure, a beacon of light in a world shrouded in darkness, guiding them towards a future filled with endless possibilities. For in the end, they realized that love was not just a feeling, but a choice to stand by each other through thick and thin, come what may. And as they embraced that choice with open hearts and open minds, they knew that their love would endure for all eternity, a testament to the power of the human spirit to overcome even the greatest of obstacles.
Chapter 6: Overcoming Adversity. As James and Sarah basked in the warm glow of their love, they knew that their journey was far from over. For life, with all its twists and turns, had a way of testing the strength of their bond in ways they could scarcely imagine. And so, as they stood on the precipice of a new chapter in their lives, they braced themselves for the challenges that lay ahead, knowing that together they could overcome any adversity that came their way. Their first test came in the form of financial hardship. With the town facing economic downturn, jobs became scarce and bills piled up like mountains on the horizon. But James and Sarah refused to be daunted by the prospect of poverty, rolling up their sleeves and facing their challenges head-on. James took on odd jobs wherever he could find them, his strong hands and indomitable spirit earning him a reputation as a hard worker and a reliable friend. Sarah, too, did her part, taking on extra shifts at the local diner and scrimping and saving wherever possible. Together, they weathered the storm of financial uncertainty, their love serving as a beacon of hope in the darkest of times. And as they emerged on the other side, they knew that their bond was stronger than ever, forged in the crucible of adversity and tempered by the fires of perseverance. But their trials were far from over. As they looked towards the future, they knew that there would be more obstacles to overcome, more challenges to face. And yet, they faced the unknown with a courage born of their love, a love that had already proven itself capable of overcoming even the greatest of adversities. Their next test came in the form of family discord. Sarah's parents, though they had come to accept James as their daughter's partner, still harbored doubts about the viability of their relationship. They worried that James was not the right match for Sarah, that his troubled past would come back to haunt them in the end. But James and Sarah refused to let their doubts and fears dictate the course of their lives. They stood together, united in their love and unwavering in their commitment to each other, and faced Sarah's parents with grace and dignity. Through patience and understanding, they slowly began to bridge the gap that had long divided them, earning the respect and admiration of Sarah's parents in the process. And as they looked upon James and Sarah with new eyes, they saw reflected back a love so pure and unconditional that it could not be denied. With their families behind them, James and Sarah faced the future with renewed optimism and determination. They knew that there would be more challenges to come, more obstacles to overcome. But they also knew that as long as they had each other, they could weather any storm that came their way. And so, as they stood hand in hand, gazing out at the horizon before them, James and Sarah knew that their love was their greatest strength, a bond that could withstand even the fiercest of trials. For in the crucible of adversity, they had discovered a resilience that would carry them through the darkest of nights and into the dawn of a new day filled with endless possibilities.
Chapter 7: A New Beginning. As James and Sarah stood on the threshold of a new chapter in their lives, they felt the weight of the past lift from their shoulders, replaced by a sense of anticipation and excitement for the future that lay before them. For in the crucible of their love, they had weathered storms that would have torn others asunder, emerging stronger and more united than ever before. Their wedding day dawned bright and clear, the sun casting its golden rays upon the world below as if to bless their union. Friends and family gathered from near and far to celebrate the love that had brought James and Sarah together, their laughter and joy echoing through the air like music. As they exchanged vows beneath the sprawling branches of an ancient oak tree, James and Sarah felt a sense of peace wash over them, knowing that they were exactly where they were meant to be. Their love, once a fragile flower struggling to bloom amidst the chaos of the world, had blossomed into a radiant beacon of hope and inspiration, lighting the way for all who dared to dream. With their vows spoken and their rings exchanged, James and Sarah embarked upon their journey as husband and wife, their hearts overflowing with love and gratitude for the blessings that had been bestowed upon them. They danced beneath the stars, their laughter mingling with the gentle rustle of leaves in the evening breeze, as they celebrated the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. But their wedding was just the beginning of their adventure together. As they settled into married life, James and Sarah found themselves embracing the joys and challenges that came their way with open arms, knowing that they were stronger together than they could ever be apart. They built a home filled with love and laughter, welcoming friends and family with open arms and open hearts. They nurtured their relationship with care and devotion, never taking for granted the gift of their love and the bond that held them together. And as they walked hand in hand through the ups and downs of life, James and Sarah found fulfillment in the simple moments, the shared meals, the quiet evenings spent curled up together by the fire, the stolen kisses exchanged in the light of the moon. But their love extended beyond the confines of their own lives, reaching out to touch the hearts of those around them in ways both big and small. They volunteered at the local soup kitchen, serving meals to those in need with smiles on their faces and warmth in their hearts. They donated their time and resources to charitable causes, knowing that even the smallest act of kindness could make a difference in someone's life. And as they looked out at the world before them, James and Sarah knew that their love was a gift they were meant to share with others, spreading joy and compassion wherever they went. For in the end, they realized that love was not just a feeling, but a way of being, a choice to embrace life with open arms and open hearts, come what may. And so, as they stood together on the threshold of a new beginning, James and Sarah knew that their love would carry them through whatever challenges lay ahead. For in the embrace of their love, they had found a strength and a courage they never knew they possessed, a strength that would carry them through the darkest of nights and into the dawn of a new day filled with endless possibilities.